Good morning. Welcome back to my channel if you're new here. Hi, I'm Katja, the Audi artist, and I am a late diagnosed autistic person with ADHD and CPTSD. And on my channel, I talk about things related to autism and my personal experience navigating this neurotypical world with a neurodivergent mind. Let's see, today I would like to just say hi. If you're new here or returning, please hit that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm and let people that are interested in my channel find me. Katja, spelled like this. I found my little beady things I did in therapy. Just showing y'all my little beads. I don't have any script or anything today. Sitting out on the deck, and I have a few layers on, but it's 48 degrees, so it's not too bad. So sorry, I'm still trying to wake up. They took my glasses off, so I can't really see myself, but that's okay because I didn't really think you wanted to see me wearing these, but I guess that's okay. My prescription glasses change in the light, and apparently they're really strong because I'm in the shade. So, yeah. Chronic fatigue. So I've been, it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I've been up since like 9. Took my meds and everything, and I'm still sleepy. I woke up and I had realized that my sleep buds that I hadn't been able to use in weeks, I was just desperate to get them to work, and I just took the tip off and realized there was some gunk on it, and I scratched that off, and they worked. Yay! So I've had those for a long time. They're the Soundcore sleep buds, and they go in and they're really flush in your ears, and they are awesome because I don't really feel that they're there, and they block out other people snoring and other weird house noises. So if you have like sensory issues and a hard time sleeping, sorry, that's bugging me. Yeah, they're awesome. And sometimes I use I forget the name of them, but it's a sleep mask. It has speakers in them, but I wish they kind of didn't because I don't like the way those feel on me, because sometimes I sleep on my side and it's just, well, most of the time I do, but I like that they have the like padding around so you can like actually open your eyes and blink and stuff, and you can't feel it on your actual eye because that would bother me. And also it seals everything, but it's not so like far down on my nose that I feel pressure, which also would make me feel like I'm suffocating, so those are great. But this is me after sleeping for the first time in probably a month, a full 8 hours, and I've been suffering from chronic fatigue. So yeah, I've been taking like naps during the day, and I've been having sleep attacks where I just kind of like get overexerted real easy and just pass out. So yeah, I've been away from YouTube for a while, dealing with a lot of medical issues, and I tried using OBS to like record without live streaming, and I did this whole like 30-minute video, and then when I went to remux it just, when I upload it to YouTube, it just keeps saying that it just isn't working. It's saying that it was abandoned or something, and I'm like, I didn't abandon it. I tried it like 3 times, and then I finally just was like, forget it, it's gone. But in that video, I was just talking about like my symptoms and why I'd been gone for so long. Um, it just, when I got back from my visit to see my family back in, I was gone for a month for like halfway of July and June and July, yeah. I just, it was a lot because that was when I saw my family for the first time after I was formally diagnosed with autism, level 1 to 2. And I had, like, we already knew I was ADHD since I was like 7 or 8 is when I got diagnosed. But I had been misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder in my, I think I was mid-20s. And so I've been living my whole life thinking I was like chemically imbalanced, and they had put me on like cocktails of all these medications that didn't help. And like those mood swings they thought I was having were really just sensory overload and meltdowns, and the depressed states were actually just autistic burnout. They're just burnout, you know, and shutdowns. Not to say that there's no element of depression, because I had been diagnosed with major depressive disorder, and also reaffirmed, well, back in 2018, I think, 17 or 18, I started seeing a therapist, and she told me that she didn't think I had bipolar disorder, that after talking to her for a long time, she said that she thought I had complex PTSD. That's post-traumatic stress disorder. So a lot of people think that PTSD is something that you see from people that have been in war, or, you know, stuff like that. And for a long time, I thought that's what it was too. But apparently, if you're on the autism spectrum, you have just, even if you had a good childhood, you are much more likely to have PTSD, just because of what it's like navigating in this world, being neurodivergent, high masking. So especially if you have average or a high IQ, it's almost worse as far as masking goes, because and there's a lot of like second guessing yourself. What are people calling this? Not impersonation. Why my brain? Like, I've been having a lot of problems with my memory lately, as well, and headaches and auras and imposter syndrome. That's what it's called. So, you know, I struggle with that, like, not just with my autism, but also with my physical ailments. The last psych eval I had, he put on there that I had something called somatic symptom disorder, or SSD, and I'm still learning about that. It's basically, you have these actual symptoms, and they can be real symptoms, but you're like highly focused on it, and it can exacerbate it, I guess. But that diagnosis really upset me, because I know I have these physical symptoms, and because like of that, and some of the things he wrote in my report, like thinking I exaggerated like some of these symptoms I'm having, that I don't know why my computer decided to go to sleep because I'm recording, but anyway, um, because like of that, um, the my primary care physician that I was seeing for a year up until this last couple of months, he wasn't taking my symptoms seriously, and I was having tachycardia events. And I started doing research on my own because I'm like, I have all these weird symptoms, and I had, I guess, me looking it up on my symptoms up on the internet kind of changed my algorithm on YouTube. So it started showing me videos, and I started looking into those and doing more research. So I had all these thoughts like, you know, I have all the symptoms of POTS. And so I was trying to get to see a doctor about that. And I'm like, well, POTS is a postural orthopedic tachycardia syndrome. So basically, when you stand up, um, from if you're lying down to standing up within 10 minutes, at any point in 10 minutes, if your heart rate elevates 30 beats per minute or more, or goes up to 120 at any time, that's considered a positive for POTS. And it's very debilitating. Other symptoms like dizziness or passing out or pre-passing out, like having coordination issues, and like just, just a lot of issues like that. I've also been having problems with sensations in my hands and feet, and I've had like 3 events so far where my left eye goes blurry for a while, and the other day it was both eyes, and I ended up going to the doctor the next day, and then what started at a doctor visit ended up in the ER, and they were doing a CT of my head, and they didn't find anything remarkable. So I still have an appointment with a neurologist and a cardiologist the first week of December, and then next week I start physical therapy, and then I also have a rheumatologist appointment the following week. So that's this month. Because I have a lot of like joint issues, like feeling like some of my, like this one, my knees hurting, my lower back was in so much pain that my partner took me to the ER. I couldn't even get in the truck myself, or even just barely moving like that would cause like so much pain that I would see like white. Everything would turn white. It was just like incredible. They found when they did a CT of my lower back, they said that I had degeneration of the lower lumbar, especially in L4 and 5. So that is basically like your bones are like deteriorating. That's not cool. And I've been having problems with my neck too. And I had gone years ago to a chiropractor, and when they did x-ray, they said that my neck was slightly turned the wrong way. Like forward instead of back, I think is what it was. It's like almost straight up and down, but slightly like 0.2 degrees the wrong way or something. I don't know. But that was like right when COVID, like right before COVID started. So I haven't been back to see anyone for that. And then there's like that weird feeling in my ear, my left ear. It happened around the same time. Went to an ENT specialist. They couldn't find anything. They said go to a neurologist. And I've moved states like twice since then, 3 times actually. And yeah, it was a crazy time in my life. And it was very hard because, I don't like change. It's very hard for me. even when it's good for me. Like this last move over a year ago, and I'm finally in a place where I feel safe, and I'm not under so much stress, and like I'm able to pay attention to my body and actually see doctors, and like thankfully my new doctor is taking me seriously and has me with all these specialists coming up. Also in February I get to go to see a sleep specialist and do a consult, and I hope that they do like a sleep study on me, because my previous doctor, not the last one that was not great, but the one from the state before, she thought I might have narcolepsy, which I was like, that's kind of crazy, because I thought that just meant you just suddenly fall asleep. And I was just like still conscious when I was like falling asleep, I guess. Like I would be eating like at a restaurant, and I would just like, and I could tell sometimes coming on, and like my words would become like incomprehensible or slurry, and then I would just kind of like limp over, and at that time we had discovered like a year and a half ago that I had anemia, and it was resistant to even like liquid iron prescription, so they had me on infusions, and I got under control, but still having these episodes, still having like racing heart after I eat, and in May I had my gallbladder removed, and my last doctor had a heart monitor on me for about 3 weeks, but it was like after my surgery, so I was on medications and stuff for my surgery, and it seemed like my heart was doing better, but then it's come back, so I haven't had that monitor since then, but I did have a racing heart that wouldn't, it was like 120 or something, and I was just sitting in bed or laying in bed, and I spent pretty much the whole day in bed because I couldn't get my heart to like relax, and when I would stand up it would like shoot up to in the 140s, so I was just like, okay, I think I should go to the ER because I don't want to like have a heart attack. So they were actually able for the first time to see my heart doing this crazy stuff. Unfortunately, they can't do the tilt table test in an ER, which is what they use when they diagnose POTS. So, and also POTS is it's like it's a syndrome that you get because of some other underlying condition. And I've had some people suggest multiple sclerosis, but when they did the CT scan, they didn't see any lesions, masses, or bleeds. But CT scan also isn't that the best because it's basically an X-ray, so it's not as good as like MRI imaging, and they didn't do any contrast or anything on it, so it's just like ER CT scan. So my doctor still wants them to do that, and also if it's genetic, then it might not show up like on that either. So I've looked into so many things. Like I don't have my whole genome done, but I have part of it, and of my DNA, and I do show like 4 different variants for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and there's like several types, and of all of the types, there's only one that doesn't have a genetic marker, and that's the hypermobile type, but you can have hypermobility with the other ones. It's a connective tissue disorder, which if you have means you know, it could be something that just eventually can cause injuries and stuff, or can be something really bad that affects, like, you know, you could have aortic rupture or something, like dissection or something. But I'm trying not to like think that, you know, it's some, my screen going to sleep again, that it's something like that, hopefully. But I really hope that everything I've been saying has been recorded, because it looks like I was muted. I'm going to be very upset if it was muted, because this will be the second day in a row that I did a video and it messed up, and I'm using like QuickTime Player just to make sure that the video is working. This is another thing, like I get so easily fatigued that making videos has been hard for me. Like any little thing that frustrates me can just have like be a domino cascading effect with like trigger all these other symptoms. And then I like just going into a busy shopping center can mean like that I'll be like in bed for 3 days because it like zapped me. Anyway, I'm like really upset right now. Trying not to be. But yeah, these are the things that I've been going through, and now my neighbor's dogs are outside barking, and that's really great. But I just been dealing with a lot of medical stuff, and I didn't think that I didn't think anybody really wanted to hear about all of that, and I just feel like I didn't want to be the negative Nancy or whatever. I didn't want to be, I don't really know where that saying came from, but whatever. I don't want to be that negative person on the internet, like, oh no, feel sorry for me because I have all these issues. But honestly, I have been watching other people's content, and it's helped me a lot to like start saying, okay, it's not in my head. There's all these other people, and there's like these actual like things that it could be. Like it could be Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which also is related to autism, which also can cause arthritis. There's which also, you know, causes you to have POTS. There's also mast cell activation. There's a lot of different things, mitochondrial disease. There's so many different things, and they might seem, because I've lived my life with chronic pain, and I was told growing up, like, oh, you're just so rough on your body, and I really didn't think that I was, but I was like, okay, so I just internalized it, and I was like, it's my fault that I'm hurting, or like telling my parents like my legs are hurting, or like I'm having these shooting pains, or like my legs are jerking when I'm asleep, and like it hurts, like I'm jerking really hard, or these things are happening, and they're like, oh, it's just growing pains. Or then when I have like numbness in my hands and feet, and they're like, well, you probably just pinched something and you slept wrong. But all of these things have like added up to be like all these issues, and it's like apparently not normal to have all of these issues. Like, so, you know, even with changing sleep habits and diet and exercise and like doing all the things that people tell me to do and still having these issues, so it's like, it's time. But when I went in to see my last doctor, because he wasn't sending me to see a specialist, he wasn't really doing anything, I decided to start like keeping, like I had like this tracker that I made, because I saw like some other people doing that, saying that it would help the doctor if I tracked my symptoms. So I started doing that, and so I had this notebook, and it was like every page was like a day, and like the things that I did, like what I ate and the water I had, and you know, like it would show like what I did. So if any of the triggers, so on the other page it would have like all of my symptoms. And he said that it was a lot, and that I was being obsessive, and that he wanted me to see a psych. And I'm like, fortunately, somebody was there with me, and they're like, okay, well, this isn't in her head, and, you know, it's science, and can you run some tests, and all this stuff. And he begrudgingly referred me to a rheumatologist. And I said, can I see a neurologist also? And he's like, only one at a time. And I'm like, there's like a long waiting list for any of these doctors. So it's like, it would be years if I had stayed with that doctor. I went home feeling defeated. But because I had gone to the ER the night before I saw the doctor, I have a special extension through my insurance. Because I'm autistic, they help me. She called me and asked me how my visit was, and I told her, like, I feel like I'm being medically gaslit and being told that I'm not being taken seriously. And even if I do have psychiatric problems, I don't have a problem going to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I really don't. But the thing is that I had seen those my whole life, and they're not going to help me with my heart. They're not going to help me with my numbness in my fingers or my shooting pain. They're not. Look, I've done it, and you can fight me on it. I don't care, but they're not. And I think that because I'm neurodivergent, that I've been treated like my symptoms aren't real, and it's hard for me to advocate for myself, because when I get in the office, I can't talk properly, and it's frustrating, it's triggering, and that's why I went in with paperwork. So anyway, I know I look like I'm gonna be crying, but I'm okay. I'm just really tired. But yeah, I'm really grateful for my new doctor, and I hope to find answers soon. In the meantime, like, I don't think it's just autistic burnout, because there's like all these other stuff that's going on. And I'm not going to say every single one of my symptoms online, because it's too much. And, some of it's, I just don't want to. I don't have to explain myself. But anyway, I'm allowed to have a personal life. So anyway, yeah, and today I decided to wear these pants that I made before I stopped, like, making videos, and I just wanted to show y'all. I'm wearing these. My extra pockets and my cartoony stuff on them. It's kind of hard to show you the back, but anyway, so yeah. So I think I'm gonna go get some tea and try to wake up some more if I can. A lot of times after I do something even like this, I feel like I just need to lay down again. But hopefully I can, honestly, even going upstairs one level, because we have the basement, then we have the first floors, the second floor is the office, and then the upstairs is my attic where I used to do all my videos. Anyway, if I go up one level, I can take a shower, and I can go in the office and play a video game. I've been really into Enshrouded lately. When I can get my brain to concentrate and focus, it's hard, like, because it's open world and it's a lot of crafting. So, like, I have these different craft people, like NPCs, and there's, like, at this point, there's so many different, like, items we've discovered that it's gotten to a point where complex crafting, I will, like, go from, oh, I need this item for this like thing, and I need to get this item from this person, but by the time, it's almost like in real life where I walk into another room and I forget what I was doing, but I walk over there and then I'm like, oh my god, okay, but where did I put that, and where do I get this, and I forgot all the other ingredients, and it's almost like I have to write it down to remember it, like, just to look at it and make sure, but then if I do too much with my hands, because already my controllers, like, have to have grippies and stuff on it, and I have to sit a certain way because I have to be in, like, this perfect position, a certain kind of chair, a certain angle of the screen, just to be able to do it without my hands going numb. So that's a thing. And then it's also like, can I track what I'm doing visually for that long without getting fatigued, or without me forgetting what we're doing, or, like, just, yeah. So, in a way, it's kind of enlightening, I guess. It's showing me, like, wow, it's not just, like, walking around doing stuff. It's like my processing is being affected. So, yeah. And also, making myself eat is an issue too. So, I did put some meat in the crock pot with some au jus and ranch packets with some water. I don't know why that dog will not stop barking. I am so sorry. It's because they are not letting him in, and it's cold and windy, and he wants to go in. But anyway, I'm almost done with my video. So, yeah, I put like this roast in there with some potatoes, and usually I'd cut all this stuff up, but holding a knife and cutting things, first of all, holding my arm up like this, and I'm only 5'2", guys. So if I stand up and the counter is, like, you know, up to here on me, whereas other people it's like down here, when I stand up, I'm having to hold my arm up, which, you know, activates that and my neck and everything. If I had it down lower where I could cut, and also, like, sometimes I have to lean on the counter because my back is hurting or my knees will hurt, and another thing is going up the stairs, my legs will start shaking. Going down the stairs, going up, it's like my knees, and sometimes I have to walk sideways just to, like, lessen the amount of my knee pain. But yeah, there's been a couple times where I completely, like, was disoriented, like, and almost fell down the stairs completely, like, so that's a thing. Terrifying. But yeah, it feels like today was a good, you know, so far clarity morning. So I thought I would do a video and say hi to all my subscribers that have been with me since I got on here, and that have been very supportive and have waited for me to come back, and I really appreciate that so much. I know I have a very, very small channel, but you know, this was my social outlet for, you know, and I've just been home dealing with this stuff. So I would like, let me know in the comments, you know, if you'd like to see me do art more, or, like, what you want to hear more about like what you want me to talk about more, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. If I forgot to say anything, I'm sorry. ADHD, autism, chronic fatigue, chronic whatever. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've gotten this far. And until I see you next time, remember, there's no I can't, and I'm learning how to make art.